Yeah, response video to the Piro. Yes, Piro. Oops, wrong button. Yeah. So, this ought to be fun.
All right, so I thought I'd go in and to Gary's room and listen, and I was.
I thought I would go into Gary's room and listen. Yeah, well, you can do that and I won't bother you. So, um, you have no right to complain because that's not what you did. You didn't go in and listen. Okay, just increasing volume. Piros does these whisper videos. They really are quite annoying whisper videos. Probably smoking and talking. Yeah, I got some cigarettes yesterday. Yeah, I mean, yesterday was a weird day. Power goes out and this guy randomly shows up at the house. Yeah, nice guy. But, internet guy. Um, and yeah, it was just bizarre. So I made him buy me cigarettes, of course. So it's like the Pope, when you go visit the Pope and you kiss rings, you have to practice kissing the ring. Yeah, here you just drop cigarettes at my feet, and then you can have an audience with the Inmendham. It is really funny. Funny. In a trivial way.
Wasn't planning to take part too much because I'm programming late, and that's what I was going to do. But as soon as I went in there, Gary started yelling at me, saying they'd unsubscribed me, and basically just started this tirade where he challenged certain things. So
No, I said, you make me sick, really sick, like physically ill, and I can't stand it anymore, and yeah, I just don't want to talk to you anymore. Yeah, you're irritating to my senses. Obnoxiously irritating. Because you're illogical, inconsistent, you break fundamental rules of conversation, you don't know what words are, you don't know how to use them right, it's just all crap. You turn human communication into shit. Because you don't want to obey any rational rules.
try to explain what I was really talking about, and he can't take it, and I'm pretty fed up.
Yeah, well, I'm saying, yeah, I'm explaining to you that, yeah, there's no ground to hoe here. Because if I get you to concede a truth, you will obnoxiously pretend you never conceded it. And so there's no point in communicating with somebody who just always goes back to being the same fuckhead, regardless of the conversation. So the conversations mean nothing to you. You don't coherently participate by the rules of the game, which are when you say, okay, I accept that, you can't unaccept it tomorrow.
With this. But it's not like it's a new thing. But I sort of have. It's like if I understand exactly what's going to happen, I'm not going to walk around this path because I know the path. I just do that long enough to find the path, and it's like Gary. You have a confused sense of what you say. You want the room to be popular.
Wrong. Yeah, okay, yeah, certainly I would like the room to be popular, but I don't want it to be popular because we have contrived conversations over and over again about the same oh, parameciums don't have a brain, so let's do that one again. No, let's not. All right? The room is for the purpose of a kind of practice anyway. I've made that clear. This is all just performance art practice. I'm just putting on my pantomime horse and suit and prancing about and seeing how it works. But that's all this really is just practice. This isn't the real ball game. This fucking feeble, impotent conversation with 200 people on the internet is not going to change the fucking world. I know I have to do better than that. And I don't think you're the medium, okay, that's going to get me anywhere. Because you're just a waste of my fucking time.
But you're going to block me and ban me when you know people like to see us argue. And you know that I'm going to...
Again, like I said, it never even entered my brain to sit there and worry about, I'm going to offend somebody who might be useful to the room in terms of creating artificial drama. Yeah, no, sorry, not my fucking agenda. I want to have a conversation that gives me some hope conversation is useful. Yeah, that's what I want to do. and you don't give me any such hope. You are an example of the fuckheads the human race is blighted by, the assholes who will accept no evidence if it is not consistent with their personal agenda, and that's it. You walk into the jury room, you have an opinion, you have a way of living your life, and you're going to let the guy off whether he's guilty or not. You're just a fraud and a fake. You stand for nothing intellectually at all, except how does Piro feel about it? Fuck your feelings. I have no interest in human feelings as anything other than a problem to be solved. Human feelings are not the solution. Human feelings are not the answer. Human feelings will not build the systems and the quality management that the human race needs. Human feelings are not the solution.
Try to keep up my side of the argument, and I'm going to try to explain things to you. You don't seem to understand that, no, you haven't just absorbed the reality of someone's message just because you thought you did blah, blah, blah.
Whatever. I watch an hour and a half of you go goo goo gaga. Yeah, there's nothing to absorb here except you like to talk baby talk to human beings. Fine. You want to talk baby talk to adult human beings. Go ahead and do that on the internet. I find it repulsive and disgusting. What I might as well go to what pedophile tube if I want to hear that kind of shit.
Like Gary thought that because I'm talking about spirituality, I'm talking about life after death and blah, blah, blah. No, my point is specifically that it's just that we have a certain kind of feeling that we call spirituality.
Yeah, we have this feeling. Well, I don't have any such goddamn feeling. I don't think anybody has any such goddamn feeling. All right, I think you're just basically giving your ego a new name. You're giving your fucking self-aggrandized superiority dance that you do, okay? And that's all it is, a superiority dance. And you're sitting there calling that spiritual. Well, that's your fucking delusion. That's your misunderstanding of reality, fuckhead. That's not even close to reality. You don't have a fucking spiritual feeling. Crocodiles don't have a spiritual feeling. A lion could kick the ass of another lion, and he has a really great pride feeling, even though he's gushing blood and his eyeballs hanging out. He's all proud of himself and feeling really good. Is that spiritual? No, it's fucking pride.
Spiritual feelings. What's going on when we have that feeling will probably tell us about that, just like...
Yeah, we already know the answer to what's going on. You have a culturally biased, conditioned response reflex. Okay? And crap makes you, gives you a feeling. Because somebody sees the American flag and they, their anus gets all twitchy. Everybody has little different triggers and they're all shit. We know that. That's the answer, Piro. There is no deeper mystery. Your fucking goddamn spiritual feeling is a delusion of your own sense of grandeur. And that's a delusion. A preposterous delusion in your case.
Lust, what's going on? Well, we found out that had to do with the DNA wanting us to reproduce. Now that seems pretty clear.
Again, but this is the kind of language that this constantly gets things in trouble, because when you say the DNA wants to, I have to wonder, well, does he mean want in the way that parameciums want to get to across the road? Why did the paramecium cross the road? Well, it wanted to. And trees are thirsty. So when you say the DNA wants to, should I assume that you're being a rational human being and you know that the DNA doesn't actually want anything? Or shall I assume that, no, this is spiritual Piro talking and he means the DNA actually does want to cross the road?
Here, to me, that I'm making this a tangible thing. Right, but...
Yeah, none of this shit is tangible. That's the whole fucking point. You don't title the videos reasonably. You don't describe the videos reasonably. You don't set up the video. You don't talk about who the fuck you're talking to. You don't explain a motherfucking thing. You just start going goo goo gaga, and I'm supposed to know, oh, he's talking to a complete imbecile who's got his underoos on and is running into brick walls. And I don't know why exactly he's making videos to that guy, but okay, I get it. This isn't a real video. This is like some kind of thing he likes to go out and do now and then. He puts on his underoo psychoanalysis suit. Freud, his Freud underwear, and he goes out and tries to Freud people. Oh, that's what's going on. But you don't do any of that, you fuckhead. So you don't make any of this tangible or coherent. Alright? You just make a mess.
Doesn't matter how explicit, because people are like,
Doesn't matter how explicit. You're totally not explicit. You don't explain when you're talking about real thirst or I'm just using thirst metaphorically. You don't make any distinctions about real things, real person named Goldilocks who lives on, 9745 Bingo Street. No, and the Goldilocks of the Three Bears. You don't make any fucking distinction between reality and fantasy talk. None.
I have a filter, and the word spirituality only comes through a cheese grater, where it means
Yeah, that's what all fucking words are supposed to do, is come through a fucking definition filter. That's right, that's the whole fucking point of having words, is they're supposed to actually mean something, you stupid fuck! I mean, shit! Yeah, there's no point in having there's no point in having a conversation about even conversation if you're not going to take the word conversation seriously. If conversation means Donald Duck to you, then I can't have a conversation with you, because I can't have a Donald Duck.
if after death, life after death. No, if I say, hey, there's a feeling that they call getting the goosebumps. Oh, goosebumps is life after death, life after death. Or like a lot of you are stupid enough that you are now going to think that I'm relating spirituality and goosebumps. Like, goosebumps is a spiritual feeling. No, you're just stupid. You can't understand.
Yeah, so I don't even know what that... Did you know what he just said there? No, I have no fucking clue. Is he saying that... I am saying that spiritualism is just a word I'm using to describe a bunch of common ego feelings that human beings have. Like, Inmendham, for example, seems fascinated by the V shape of vagina. And certain people have certain spiritual icons in their life. But I don't mean that it's spiritual. I just mean that they're horny as fuck for it. Or they really like the taste of it. Or they have some other reason to find it attractive. And it's soothing. Because, I was talking to a guy about palm trees. Now, palm trees are kind of soothing because they're always associated with warm and quiet and peaceful and all those kind of good things. And so, they give us a feeling. Our reaction to them is a feeling that's generally pleasant and peaceful and non-prickly and no thorns and all that kind of shit. Yeah, that's how we work. But you don't, again, that's not what you're doing. You're not telling me. You're saying that this spiritual feeling is some DNA-written special feeling. It's not goosebumps, and it's not ego, and it's not pride, and it's not any of these things we already know that are bullshit. You're claiming it's a special class of feeling that's all over there by itself, and we all know because we all have it. Well, I've never had a spiritual feeling. Alright? I have had a hard dick, but I haven't had a spiritual feeling. So you're going to have to go a little deeper and explain what the fuck you mean by a spiritual feeling.
And things when they're explicitly stated to you. And this relates to what I was describing as some epiphanies, where I feel if I give you that information, you should be able to understand it, people, Garys of the world, and you can. And the empathy, if I was to have it, would be...
Yeah, the empathy. Again, what does this have to do with anything? Nothing. Again, he just has to relate everything to a feeling. Everything has to be related to a feeling. He cannot talk about anything rationally and logically. He always has to interject with some sort of bullshit. I mean, let's query our individual bigotries to find out what the truth is. No, that's just stupid. Empathy is a bigoted emotion. We don't have it rationally. We have it emotionally. Let that word go and deal with imperatives. Rational imperatives.
That I need to put it in a bullshit form. Well, fuck that in the case of spirituality. That's not why I'm here. Okay? I'm going to continue to discuss the facts and be explicit.
Yeah, you're not discussing anything called a fact, and you have no respect for facts. You have no integrity in arguing. You cheat constantly and fundamentally. So yeah, fuck you. Yeah, there's nothing to say. Go ahead, be a Teletubby baby in the corner and laugh your way through everything. You fucking glibite.
Right? Now, there is a feeling, right, that is this, it's like a feeling of awe or something that has its own character.
It's separate, but it's like. No, it is, Piro. That's all it is. It's awe. It's you're impressed for psychological reasons that have to do with your particular reflexive reactions to the symbolic representation tied to your personal memory experience. That's how we acquire that sensation. It's conditioned. It's a programmed reflexive reaction. It is not DNA.
Just like hunger for food is distinct from lust, is distinct from a feeling of appreciation of beauty. Now, the feeling of appreciation of beauty has a very similar flavor as...
No, it's very similar, but it's not the same as the special spiritual feeling. Yeah, sorry. No, you're not going to find the spirit code in the DNA. You're not going to find any such thing. It's just a conditioned response. It has nothing to do with the intrinsic value of anything. It has to do with your particular horny desire, addiction, reaction.
This, what I'm calling the spiritual feeling. But the spiritual feeling can happen in situations that are not beautiful. So, I don't know. How do we sort that out? Now, Gary wanted to say right before he blocked me like 3 minutes into me being...
Look, there's no point. Again, we all know that in common human history for 10,000 years, we know what the word spiritual has had hidden behind it. It's a word of voodoo. It's a word of religion. You want to play with it like it has a rational or sensible grounding. It has no such thing. These are not words you can play with. You want to play with them and pretend you're saying something else and you're being coherent? Well, go ahead and pretend. But you can't take the truth. You can't, just as you can't take paradise off of a palm tree. You can't take human abuse out of that word spiritual. Human nonsense, UFO, truth or crazy, bibble babble.
That it's a fucked up, shitty feeling, goddammit. So I'm not supposed to talk about it? You think the world is fucked up, and that's all you talk about, is how fucked up it is. So why... My approach to spirituality is a process by which we would discover what it really means biologically. Where is that coming?
Yeah, where is that coming from? So again, he's qualifying it as a separate function of our evolution, spirituality. And it's just, again, we know what we are. We're ego-driven, hierarchically driven, alpha, beta, psychology, and that's any of those feelings of pride or gratification or satisfaction have very personal, very selfish, very functional in terms of competitive gameplay purposes, and there's nothing of any value integrity in the mechanisms that drive those sensations. Again, this is about a conversation about reality, not what you feel.
From. Okay. And your approach is ineffectual. I mean, you
says Piro. Oh yeah, okay. Well, I think your approach is ineffectual times the speed of light squared. Okay, I think you're ineffectual times the speed of light squared. It's just a massive amount of ineffectualness built up in you. You have an ineffectualist disorder, and they should give it an acronym. OC crazy.
think you want to make a popular movement, but but you can't handle having a conflicted conversation.
You know, you can't handle having a movement when the item is moving in different directions. You can't have force. You can't. You know, see, I'll get into my physics theory. But the fact is, you will not move in two directions at once. You will, the balance has to be in a net direction. And if you net pollute your direction, then you're just slower to get where you're going. So the truth is, you're just dead weight. Somebody who can't get with the program is just a fucking liability.
And that's mostly why people follow you, and the people that aren't following you specifically to see the conflict just already have your views. You're not convinced.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's right. They're not following me. Okay, we're coalescing around common themes and saying we all have this understanding, we all have appreciation for this value. Let's all organize and do something to preserve the value that we wish to preserve. So if somebody is against the war and they get with other people that are against the war and they protest the war, yeah, it's not that, you don't call that a cult. Oh, they're war press, it's the war press protester cult. So fuck you and your follower crap. It's not a bunch of followers. You don't sit there and say, oh gee, it's that one guy. It's all about him. Yeah. All the rest of those protesters are just followers. They don't really know what the war is. They don't know it's a bad thing. They had to wait for him to tell them. I mean, fuck your implications.
It's in new people to think that way. You don't even see how some of your ideas have made me go, oh, okay, that's a good point. You don't even...
Yeah, of course. Well, of course I don't, because and I've told you the standard for it, because you've never, ever, 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 in the history of every fucking video you've made, ever, okay, said in a video what you've said in conversation. I've asked you to do it. I said you've conceded the point. Why don't you make a video conceding that point? And you never, ever, 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 ever have done that. So yes, of course, I find you insufferable for that alone.
Appreciate that as progress.
There's no evidence of the progress. Your videos speak for themselves. Your statements have already spoken for themselves. You have no intention of changing any of this drivel-dravel that you've been doing for years. Your videos will represent a ooey-gooey, wishy-washy, mishy-mushy representation of reality, and then in personal conversation, you will concede, yes, evolution's a fact, yes, I understand it's a mechanism, yes, you know, and none of that will ever, 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 ever see realization in a video. Ever. Because you're a lying piece of shit. There's no other word for it.
And so it's just sort of designed to fail as a philosophical movement, I think.
Yeah, whatever. You think based on no evidence. Okay, so give me evidence and then maybe I'll think you have something to say. But without evidence, it's just Piro says so. And guess what? I don't care. Yeah, irrelevant. Meaningless. Totally meaningless. Yeah, let's make it double totally meaningless. Meaningless times the square times the speed of light squared. Yeah, the value of Piro's opinion, yeah, meaningless times the speed of light squared, because it's not going to be based on anything called evidence.
And you lack any curiosity about what's actually going on and any understanding.
Yeah, well, whatever. Any curiosity or understanding demonstrated by what? Oh, that's right. No evidence again. Thank you.
That my approach to spirituality is...
Yeah, well, your approach to sticking your head up your ass. Guess what? I don't do stick my head up my ass. I don't do whatever. Let's go through all the insanely stupid things to do. I don't do run my head into brick wall. Okay? Yeah, I don't do that. So your approach to running your head into a brick wall is, well, guess what? Couldn't care less because, yep, I ain't doing that.
Trying to make it... Every time I brought this up, and it's many times that I brought it up, but I can't assume you or anybody else really understood what I was saying because I was so explicit.
Yeah, right. This is the guy. See, I mean, the duplicity in this video is just so hilarious. Remember the little the little mocking he was doing of the filtering of the words and having words that actually mean something. And now he's talking about being explicit. And can you see how that is just on its face direct contradictory statements? You cannot complain about words having rigid definition and then talk about I was so explicit. How the fuck could you be explicit in an environment where words don't have meaning? It's not possible, fuckhead.
To understand it. Every time I liken it to lust and hunger, and I talk about...
I liken it to other emotional responses, and yet I still clearly am implying it's in a separate category called spiritual feeling. It's not lust. It's not pride. It's, it's not any of that shit. No, it's spiritual, which is somehow different, in a different category. And that's why it's called spiritual, because people are correct. It's not lust. It's not pride. No, it's spiritual.
People in the past, like 100,000 years ago, feeling hunger, and that drives them to want food. But if they were to sit down and wonder, what is that feeling of hunger, they're likely to have metaphysical beliefs about it, just like we do with attraction.
Does this make any sense? So he's saying people are going to metaphysically think about hunger and say, why am I hungry? They see every single other organism in the world has a mouth and an ass, and they're all hungry, and it's going to get metaphysical about it? No, it's going to figure this is something you got to do to survive.
To other people, it's fate and love at first sight, and God is telling me that's the one. But we have decomposed that down into the evolution and people, and then this is, you can say the DNA wants us to reproduce, or you can just say the evolutionary process leads to a machine that has to have a means to reproduce. So
it's not just a means to the end again, though. It's a convoluted evolution. There are birds, speaking of your blue background, that collect blue garbage to impress the women's. All right? They don't build nests. They don't do something constructive. They do something that's a complete waste of their time just to demonstrate, look how much time I can waste. I'm so in control of what I'm doing, I can waste a ton of time collecting blue shit for you to take a dump on. So evolution isn't some sort of directly coherent straight line, like we need food, we get food. No, it has a convoluted, fucked up line because every organism is niching to an environment where it is competing with fucktards, and so it comes up with something double fucktarded as a strategy. It's Calvin ball. The game doesn't have any direct goal posts, you kick a field goal, you get 3 points. It doesn't have any of those coherent rules. It's a completely incoherently played game where at any moment you win because you just walk up to the guy and hit him over the head with a Coke bottle. I mean, the rules are idiotic.
People don't think I should reproduce, they just have these feelings. And for some reason in that soup of feelings they're...
Again, so he's claiming that people don't think they shouldn't reproduce, they feel they shouldn't reproduce. That's he's just making claims. Claims based on what evidence? Where do you have evidence of that? I never had a feeling like I shouldn't reproduce. I have this ambiguous I shouldn't reproduce feeling. No, I had a rational reaction to the fact that I thought about what reproduction entails, and then I'm going to be basically chaining a slobbering, drooling piece of shit to my ass, and that doesn't sound too smart. And the piece of shit might grow into a gigantic fucking Frankenstein that might be a menace in society, and that doesn't sound too fucking good. And I said, shit, this doesn't look like a right thing to do at all, because I can't think of a motherfucking thing to do with this fucking kid besides make him into a doorstop or something. What the fuck use do I have for a fucking kid? Oh yeah, I'm not a child molester, so I guess it's no use. Where's the feeling involved in that? It's just a rational description of what the fuck I'm going to get if I put a quarter in that vending machine. A fucking bunch of fucking brown crap is going to drivel out. And I'm supposed to say, gee, that was a bargain? No fucking way. There's no feeling involved. There's a rational decision. I don't need a pocket full of brown shit.
It's this spiritual feeling. And it is not like being hungry for food. It is not like being thirsty for water.
Yeah, it's not like pride and ego gratification and stroking your own nipples. No, it's the spiritual feeling. Oh, fuck you.
It is its own feeling.
There we go. Its own feeling. So it is. Spiritual feeling is fact. The DNA makes them. It makes the spiritual feeling. Prove it. Oh yeah, the evidence, please. Evidence. Oh, I should have said that. Evidence, please. Evidence, please.
And if anything, I suppose there's a chance you do understand that. And you don't want people to look into what that feeling says.
I don't want people to look into the feeling, the spirit feeling that I've never had. I have no fucking relation to whatsoever, as if it would mean anything or be anything. And you're telling me that I don't want other people to have the magical feeling that I don't have, that I don't even know what the fuck they are going to do with that besides do something selfish and stupid anyway. So I guess in that sense, I'd rather people not have spiritual feelings. That's right, because spiritual feelings are related to always ego, selfish, bigotry, focused around some sort of silly narrative where their God is God. Yeah, so fuck that shit.
Because maybe it's a feeling to survive. I don't think so. I think it's just as likely to be a feeling to fight unto the death when things are unacceptable. It's just as likely to lead to anarchy.
A feeling. See, again, so he's doing all this shit based on a feeling. He doesn't understand that the Nazis taking over Europe might be a bad idea, so yes, I guess we're going to have to we're going to have to walk the hard walk and do something to stop it, because it's really going to be, there's a no win here. We can't make this work out for us. Nazis in control of Europe. No, this is not going to work for us. We have to do something. Obviously, we didn't even do that, right? I mean, rationally, we said, "Oh, it's okay." Yeah, it wasn't until the Japs, the Japs forced the issue, right? The ironies of, historical failure.
Natalism, if that's really out there for people as anything else. Really, we don't know where it leads.
Yeah, so people should get spiritual about anti-natalism. They should go with their spiritual feelings. What? No, they rationally understand this is risk behavior and they personally understand it because they were victims of it, and they say, shit, I don't think people should be making victims. That's not right. Wow, that's fucking complex. I had to have a complex spiritual feeling. I had to have an ambiguous, amorphous feeling to get that. No, I didn't have to.
Because as I was saying to Kurt, a much more, nicer person to talk to.
Yeah, who cares? Who the hell Kurt is? You don't even, like I said, there's no context to this. What video exchanges has this guy made to anybody relevant to people you've made videos to in the past? And so you just talk about somebody who nobody knows with no information, as if we all should know who he is. Fuck you. This is a bullshit way to communicate.
Even though he also has lost his cool and says you're delusional and whatnot, is even though is that we are separated from this spiritual feeling, because I think if we had a legitimate spirituality, yeah, we would fight. We wouldn't accept being a slave. And
yeah, it's just so ironic, just again, we would fight the exact thing the anti-natalists are doing. We wouldn't be a slave. That's right. We wouldn't be just continually victimized. We'd do something about it. The very thing we're doing, but somehow he doesn't see that. Amazing. And again, we didn't need a spiritual feeling to do it. We needed an understanding to do it. That's all. We just needed to understand. We didn't need to feel something.
It's hard for me to accept that you are part of the continued enslavement, but you want people to end it all, so you have to.
You want people to end it all. There you go. See, this is how much he doesn't pay attention to anybody. His ego is so monstrous, so blinding, and he has no sincere interaction with anyone. He couldn't recognize Math Fail's face, he couldn't recognize his voice, he couldn't recognize the tenor and character of his way of communicating. He noticed none of it. And then here, he makes a claim that has no evidence. Fuck. That's what I'll say to that. Yeah, fuck! Okay, continuing and such.
Make the world. You have to add suffering to the world. That's your goal, because you've already...
Yeah. See, so what is that? That's my goal. No, obviously my goal is exactly the opposite. I'm trying to take it out of your malicious, glibist hands. You glibist have accepted suffering, you've endorsed it and embraced it, and you said as long as the victim isn't me, kind of crap. Or even if you say it's okay, bring it on to me because I enjoy it, you're just ignoring the people who say, no, I don't enjoy it. I don't think this is a bargain at all. I don't want to play a risk game where merit has nothing to do with it, where deserve has nothing to do with outcomes, and where there's no consent. You want to play a game like that? Well, play it again. Stick the scalpel in your own brain, dissect yourself, quit fucking with me, okay? I'm not going to be your laboratory rat any longer. Fuck you. You're the malicious, sadistic motherfucker who wishes to impose. You're the one justifying, I will torture people to satisfy my spiritual feeling. Well, fuck you and fuck your spiritual feeling.
Said it can't be better enough for you. So you're just one of these people that's going to add suffering to the world. That's going to take the...
Yeah, you got no proof of that. None whatsoever. I'm preventing people from making reckless victims. Oh my God. He's going to maybe make people more humble and more appreciative of their origins. Maybe people will actually recognize, you know what, I am basically a fucking horny motherfucking fish. I just got a big mouth, I got a big dick, and I just want to fuck shit and eat shit. And maybe they'll figure that the fuck out and say for a minute, yeah, you know what, I should be in a goddamn bowl. I should be in a fish fucking tank. Because I'm a little dangerous let loose on the world. So yeah, I'm the one, the menace. No, you're the menace, fuckface. You and your glibbists are the ones, you're why the world sucks. Is because the intellectuals have never had the fucking balls, never had big enough cojones to take responsibility, step up to the goddamn wheel and drive the fucking bus. You're all a bunch of wishy-washy, goddamn weak, limp dicks who can't fucking take charge of anything, can't take responsibility for anything because you're lazy motherfuckers who don't want to do the hard work. Fuck you.
The psychological post-traumatic stress of being part of a generation after generation of slaves, and spread that out into the world and make a horror in the world.
Right, I'm making slaves. You're just such a fucking cunt. And so this is, you know, again, right? True colors, all right? You're just giving me after the fact evidence, more evidence of why it would be totally appropriate for me to ban you on sight, to just say, fuck this cunt, all right? If this fucking cunt thinks I have no better agenda, this fucking cunt's going to sit there and slander me with this shit, fuck you, asshole. Yeah, so now you've just validated why you've been kicked. This is your real agenda, shithead. These are your real thoughts. These are your true fucking sober colors. So yeah, fuck you. I hate your guts.
Because it's already horrible to you. You don't want it to have a glimmer, and you're afraid that...
Yeah, you're a liar. I'm the one supporting full orgies. Let's subsidize fucking orgies. Let's fucking subsidize drunken debauchery. Let's just not subsidize reckless child fucking production by lunatics who think they're in control. Yeah, fuckhead.
Following spirituality would be that glimmer. But I pointed out...
Yeah, well, no, you're following the fact that you're a selfish motherfucker would be that glimmer. Again, nobody's obliging you to do anything except hideous laboratory experiments on victims. And you're calling it oppression. I'm trying to oppress people because I'm taking away their scalpel and all their torture tools. And I'm taking away their silly notion that they're in control. and that their experiment's gonna work. No, I'm taking the knife out of Mengele's fucking hand, you retard.
I don't think so. I think, following what seems like a spiritual thing can lead people to fucked up.
Yeah, following feelings, okay, as guidance is stupid, okay? Intellects should foster feelings, should fertilize your feelings. Your intellect should control your monkey with bananas and dildos, okay? It should control your feelings, not the other fucking way around. Your feelings shouldn't be controlling your rationalizations, retard.
Things that are negative that just end up with you getting a lesson. Right, except for maybe you die.
Yeah, you don't learn any fucking lessons, asshole. Never.
And you as an individual don't get that lesson, but the rest of the world does.
Yeah, give me evidence of the rest of the world doing something, learning a lesson, you shithead. Go ahead, show us that. Your rest of the world, your gang. Show us what you've accomplished, fuckface. Nothing. Fuck you.
Not every single individual. And that's why Hitler was brought up, because Hitler was into a bunch of New Age spirituality, dumbass. All right? So maybe you just don't know enough about the world.
Oh, and you think the New Age spirituality has made him a Jew bigot? Is that your fucking theory? He wasn't a Jew bigot for some other reason? No, he's a Jew bigot because of New Age spirituality? What's your fucking argument, retard? How's it fucking relevant? You know, because somebody has a corn on their foot, does that mean something? Okay, Hitler had a corn on his foot. That's why there was World War II. That's why all the Jews died, is because Hitler had a corn on his foot. I don't think so, shit for brains. All of you assholes throughout human history have had some kind of deluded spiritual mumbo fucking goddamn jumbo. That's why we're arguing with you fucking assholes. And all you fucking assholes calling yourself fucking atheists obviously aren't atheists. If I was to dissect you historically based on your video performance, you're going to come off like Hitler. Look, this guy believed in voodoo. I mean, you're talking voodoo. You're talking fucking shape-shifting parameciums with their will to get across the street. Fuck you.
World history to put what I say in context. All right? So, I've decided your room's a waste of time.
Thank you. I asked you to leave. So, yeah, I decided you're a waste of time first. Let's just make that clear, right? I decided you're a waste of time first.
Okay, because if I can't even go in there and just listen to what's going on...
Ah, yes you can, liar. Liar, 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 liar. Piero is a fucking liar. You can go in there and just listen. No one can stop you. I certainly have never stopped anybody from showing up and just listening, fuckhead. So you're a liar.
To hear some live conversation, if you were going to...
Liar, 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 liar. You're a liar.
...attack me and don't even want explanations, then
yeah, I've had them already. I've heard you rationalize and excuse over and over and over. We've been down this silly road so many fucking times, and it's time to just say, no, you're not worth the trouble, shithead. I'm not doing it over and doing it over and doing it over. I did it right. I persuaded you. I made my argument. I'm not going to do it all over again. Go play with your fucking parameciums. Go get some leashes and train them to whatever. Roll over. Go ahead, fuckhead.
You should just not want to talk about that. And if I brought it up, I would understand you as the master of ceremonies and you're mostly talking about movies and bullshit. Room.
Yeah, mostly talk about movies and bullshit, and he wants to go to the room just to listen. You can't play that. That's playing both sides of the street there again. So another contradiction. I want to go to the room to listen, yet the room isn't worth listening to. Well, I guess you shouldn't go with your feelings then. Yeah, maybe you should learn something, fuckhead.
That you would say, well, I don't want to talk about that topic. I don't see any reason to. Fine. You know, I also had
I made it just clear. I had watched the fucking Piro videos, the hour and a half of baby talk, and they made me sick. And I just made the point. This shit makes me sick. I can't watch this shit. It's gonna make me fucking homicidally insane. If I have to accept that humans are this fucking idiotic, I can't do this anymore. I cannot have conversation with lunatics, and you're a fucking intellectual lunatic.
I have 3 cards of notes to reply to you on.
Yeah, and you won't be able to make a coherent reply because you are a glibist. You're a motherfucker who thinks your spiritual feelings are worth somebody else's suffering, and you just keep rationalizing excuses for that behavior. Fuck you.
On the other topic we were talking about, we could have talked about that. Or frankly, I wasn't necessarily going to talk. I was just going to listen and see what was up.
Well, then I don't know why you had to press the button that says start broadcasting, and then you had to press another button that said, yes, my camera engaged. Then you had to press another button, yes, my microphone is engaged. So why did you do that if you just want to listen?
If you want to be the master of ceremonies, fine.
I don't want to be the masters of ceremonies. I wish one of you lame assholes could make a room that somebody could give a fuck about. I really wish you could. I wish somebody else would do a room where they would have intelligent conversations and I could listen to the intelligent conversations and enjoy them. But my only choice is the Magic Sandwich Show, which is a bunch of asswipe, head way up their motherfucking ass pompous jackasses who just keep talking about how, well, that Noah story sure sounds like crack to me. Yeah, okay. Got that one. Could we have a new subject, please? Oh, women suck. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's not a very... Oh, guns is weird. Okay, those are fun subjects. Not.
But you're going to attack an idea, misconstrue and misunderstand, don't want to let somebody answer for themselves. Well, you're not a very...
Yeah, whatever. I made it clear I can't suffer you. I find you insufferable, especially for this day. That day, I was done with you. One more piece of Piro pie, and I was going to blow the fuck up. So yeah, I was all full of you, and could take no more of this sweet, sappy, putrid syrup. So yeah, I made it clear. Please leave. I said it.
Be a decent person in that case. You can think you're decent because you're nice to people.
Yeah, I say please leave. One of us has got to go. I guess since I'm the star of the show, it would be stupid for me to leave.
When you meet them in real life, you're polite rather, and you meet them on the trail and stuff. But that's not good enough. Okay, you're not a decent person to me in the conversation. And
Yeah, well, whatever. That's right. I'm not going to sit there and engage in a conversation where some asshole's going to tell me Jews don't feel as much as white men. And I'm not going to have a conversation with some glib motherfucking asswipe who thinks human beings are doing something spiritual and we don't have to worry about nature because nature's taking care of nature and, yeah, the animals like getting eaten and shit. Fuck you.
you put yourself high on a pedestal that you have no right to be on just because you're the master of ceremonies and get...
Well, yeah, wrong again. If I can pay somebody, I'll chip. I can't chip in much, but look, if somebody wants to do a show on Saturday nights, same time I do, and I'll pay you $20 a month. Okay, somebody want to do the show, I'll chip in $20 to have somebody do a competent, to mitigate and foster and flourish a room, okay, that has rational conversation. Yeah, I'm all for it. Somebody else be the master of fucking ceremonies. I don't want the fucking job.
Discuss what topics, which I'm perfectly willing to accept in your room.
You weren't willing to accept it. I pointed out the topic's not going to be Piro's a motherfucking cunt asshole. I'm not going to talk to the asshole. I don't want to talk about the asshole. I just make my point. I find him repugnant and repulsive. I made my fucking goddamn point. I said I don't want to talk to you. You're just going to do some rationalizing bullshit, and it's a waste of my fucking time. I've only been over this stuff 5 million times. You can't play games with these fucking words. You think you can play games with words. You think you can unnigger nigger, and you think you can fantasy spiritual. Well, you can't unfantasy spiritual. It's all fantasy babble. It's all Bugs Bunny cartoon nonsense. It's all fucking fables and nonsense. You've already done it with Sisyphus. You keep doing it with everything. You just say, I'm going to reinterpret that. I'm going to reinterpret Nietzsche the cunt into Nietzsche the loving cat petter. Well, fuck you. It's not real. It's fake. It's a lie. It's a deception. It's propaganda. It's nonsense. You're not connected in any way whatsoever to any fucking rules of logic, which are water's got to be described as wet. Fuck you. Nietzsche was an asshole. You're an asshole.
That we discuss an overlap of topics that you and I are interested in. You can't make me talk about a topic I don't want to talk about, and you don't have to allow a topic you're not interested in.
Apparently you're saying I do have to allow it. I asked you to leave politely. I asked you, just leave, just leave, just leave. I said it 3 fucking times. You wouldn't just leave. Fuck you. Apparently I'm not allowed. Clearly, you're saying I have to deal with you. Well, fuck you. I'm not going to do it.
And you'll find I've always respected that.
You've always wasted my fucking time. You've had absolutely no respect for anything. You have no respect for words. You have no respect for integrity. You have no respect for logic. You have no respect for consistency. You have no respect for any of the fundamental things that are necessary to anything called constructive evolution on this planet. You are a menace.
That you're going to watch videos of mine to somebody else on spirituality, that's just too bad.
Yeah, they're public videos. You make public videos talking absolute nonsense, placating absolute nonsense, perpetuating and supporting nonsensical thinking. Yes, I call that destructive, a menace. Fuck you, I don't like you.
I like you that you want to talk about that subject. Well, fuck you, Gary. I'll talk about whatever I want.
Right, and I'll like and dislike whatever the fuck my brain says it's worth liking or disliking. I'm saying I don't like you. I don't like your content. I don't like the character of your conversation. I don't like your integrity. I don't like me no likey. Me say me no likey. You understandy?
And as a matter of fact, this feeling of spirituality, I think, is the most important topic.
There you go. Yeah, what the fuck do I do with that? Why don't you just wave a fucking American flag in front of my face and tell me to salute? Well, fuck you, I'm not gonna do that. I might salute you by pissing in your face. So fuck you. Shall I whip it out? I mean, I could piss on the laptop, right? Technically, can't you get away with that? I'm not gonna put plastic over there. Well, anyway, fuck you.
And the fact that it makes you so frightened is a good.
Yeah, it makes me nauseous. Okay, duplicitous hypocrites make me nauseous.
Example of why? Because maybe if we answer that question, we'll want to live.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, again, it's like it's about wanting to live. It's like, oh yeah, anti-natal procreation is all men want. They just want to have babies to molest. And I'm just so horrible because I'm telling all the men they can't have a baby to molest. Seriously, you're a fucking idiot.
Maybe you're like the canary that's going to suffocate as soon as it starts up again. So
as soon as, like the canary is going to suffocate as soon as it starts up again. I'm sorry, not rational babble.
So, yeah, I'm glad you unsubscribed to me because I'm going to talk about that, perhaps exclusively.
Cool. I mean, if that's your agenda, do it, okay? Venom Fang X does his thing. To Be Serious does her wacky thing. Do in the Morning does her wacky. Go ahead and Professor Anton talks his bibbly babbly boo. Go ahead. Talk absolute shit, and I'll just point out, here's another fake atheist talking absolute fucking shit who doesn't know crap about evolution and how it works. He thinks there's a spiritual gene.
It's just, dude, it's like, or we could talk about science, another thing you don't understand at all.
Right, you're the one who thinks parameciums want to cross the road and that we have a spiritual gene. And you're gonna even say something like, point your finger at somebody else's integrity in their knowledge of science? I mean, fuck, you're laughable.
Jesus. Anyway.
You can't even understand the difference between sex and procreation. I mean, fuck. You don't understand how people get pregnant. You fucking idiot.
Well, it's too bad because I have sympathy for your emotional structure.
Oh, whatever. Again, I have a sympathy feeling for your emotional structure feelings. I mean, fuck, wow, guess how much I couldn't give a rat's ass. I'm on the internet talking about the fundamental mechanism that is the engine of life on Earth, and you're talking absolute crap about what the fuck you feel. Who fucking cares? I don't.
But I just don't think that that it's healthy or wise for me to keep pumping.
Yeah, and that's exactly my argument. It's not healthy or wise for me to waste my time on a sack of shit. I made it clear. I asked the sack of shit to please leave, and he wouldn't do it. The end.
Being artificial value into that part of you.
I mean, if I ask the dog dude to get off my shoe before I take a stick to it, I mean, that's fair, right?
That we have an overlap in subjects. There's certain things about political progress that we would agree on. When in reality...
Yeah, we don't. We don't agree because you don't understand them as mechanisms. You just give them lip service. You don't even understand how they're fundamentally the total answer. You just go on about your own silly agenda. Oh, term limits, or I think we should make congressmen wear honor pins or something, or whatever, or some other kind of money. That's it. Money. Change the money to make their money go invisible. That'll change the politics. It's all about the money. Yeah, that's all it is. It's not about people being fucking stupid, selfish cunts who will want people to lie to them. No, that's not the truth. People don't want people to lie to them. Fuck you.
You like making people miserable.
Ah, fuck you. Fuck you. Yeah, that's all you say to that. Fuck you. You're the one who fucking thinks you're worth it. You will make people miserable because you think you're worth it. Because you're a hero and you're spiritually feeling. To the spiritual feeling and beyond. In good old spaceship to be crazy. So anyway, I'll make a separate video, I think, reading comments, because there's probably 37 of them. Oh, it'll be so funny. Karen Kobe left a comment. That's right on the top. The problem is that Inmendham's default position is attack mode. No, it's defending rationality mode. And that's exactly right. I'm not going to sit there and talk. I'm not going to have negotiations with Hitler on the subject of Jew hornery. I'm not going to waste my time talking to Adolf about whether do the Jews have pointier horns? Do the horns matter? Are their horns really controlling the universe? Or no, I'm not going to do that, you crackhead. For example, he attacked my latest video with his usual overheated rhetoric and claimed that I was anti-science. Well, that's exactly what you are. Science has absolutely no value if all you're going to do is use it to put sprinkles on your ice cream cone. If science can't be used to answer any questions that are important, and all science can do is make fucking coloring for your fucking food, well then fuck science. In that context, what fucking good is it if it's just a fucking dildo, if it's just an entertainment mechanism, if it's just something we use to satisfy our idiotic ambitions? If we don't use science to understand our ambitions and understand what the fuck you are, which is a stupid, ugly, motherfucking smelly fish, then science will it will bear no fruit. You cannot pave the road to right with wrong. And it's wrong to diss science. When in fact my video was an affirmative of science and made exactly the opposite points he attributes to me. No, your video was a slander of the scientific method as ever being able to answer a question in anything called a useful manner. His followers engage in their usual chorus of agreement. Hating is easy, thinking is hard. No, and duplicitous hypocrisy is easy, and you make it obvious. You can't build anything. You can't make an argument. All you do is slander the other argument. And that's all your video was about, was to say, gee, his argument about consumption, reproduction, cannibalism, and addiction certainly seems unshakable. And therefore, I will ruin all scientific theory because I don't like that theory. And that's all you did. You don't like where the facts are pointing, so you said facts really don't mean anything. Evidence doesn't really mean anything because somehow the round wheel will be proven inefficient. Just wait enough time. If we wait a few trillion years, they're going to prove that round wheels suck and that we should have used square ones all along. And that the Martians caused syphilis, not a syphilis microbe. The microbe didn't do it. No, it was the fucking Martians. So that'll have to be a separate video, right? Because I'll just be able to go on for days and days with the... There's got to be some hilarious bibble babble in here. I mean, it's probably just hilarious bibble babble. Anyway, till next time.